Welcome everyone to the MMOs.com podcast. This is episode 53 now, and this is Altai, joined by
Omer,
Matt,
Aurelia.
And we are down one Gumble down.
Yep, he has abandoned us for his lifelong dream of being a ballet dancer.
Indeed, he is actually at the ballet, or opera, or theater, one of those fancy schmancy artsy things.
we should
And
call
I
him the
almost-
theater.
He would do that. Gumble would do that.
I almost forgot when I was supposed to say my name because I'm used to Sean coming before me.
All right, well, with Gumble gone, that means I get to lead the weekly raid. And this week it is, can you play MMORPGs on console? And this isn't like a yes or no thing. It's can you personally play, not whether they're available, because we all know they
I
are.
do have a console and I do have hands, so technically, yes, I am capable of playing MMOs on consoles.
All right, that is not the spirit of this weekly raid. The
I've
spirit
done
of the
it
raid.
before.
You've done it before. Okay, what
Yeah,
game?
I've played the Fantasy Star and Dreamcast.
Fantasy Star
Was
Online.
it a
Yeah.
pleasant experience?
How was
It
that?
was fun. Yeah, I had a keyboard though. I had like the.
Oh.
Oh, it doesn't count.
But I used the controller. I only used the keyboard for chatting.
Hmm.
That was
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Keyboard and the controller, and it was free when I played it. So like there was like no, they didn't have like the monthly fee anymore. So it was pretty fun. Had a good time.
Well, here's a fun tidbit. I don't know if we covered it last week. Tera is now coming to consoles, apparently.
Maybe.
Well, yes.
They're
Maybe.
hiring somebody for it. Apparently they're hiring someone for it. It's not like confirmed or anything.
But if they're hiring somebody, it's pretty confirmed. It's like obviously they abandon the project, but they're taking the approach
Well, they're
seriously.
hiring a technical director. It's like here, come look at this and see if we can
See
do
if it's
it.
possible.
Yeah.
But guys, given that Neverwinter has already made its way to consoles, I think a game like Tera, it can function pretty well. I can already because it's actiony. I feel like it would work better on consoles than like a point-and-click MMORPG or something that's more like with tons of interface. I feel like it could work on there.
Okay, guys,
Yes.
I have some question.
Hmm.
So, are we consolist? Like, are we gonna segregate console? Do you think that's necessary to segregate consoles and PC players?
Well, actually,
Yes.
I was going to say something real quick. There was actually a major blow to cross-platform play in a way because Rocket League is finally cross-platform with PC and Xbox One, and it's also cross-platform with PC and PS4. But they strictly, because I guess Microsoft still has a stick up its ass or something, they strictly forbid both PS4 and Xbox One players from being in the same room.
Why?
Oh, that's pretty interesting. Huh. It's like a
Are we-
love
are we
triangle
sure
with
this is on
PC.
Microsoft's
It's
end?
a love
Like, are
triangle
they
with
the ones
PC, and the
preventing
two girls are brats, and they don't want to talk to each
It's
other.
it's basically always been Microsoft, so I'm pretty sure it's Microsoft.
I've heard that too. I've heard it's Microsoft's fault.
it? That's
Hmm.
awful.
So my thing is, even if MMOs come to consoles like they have in the past, like you have Neverwinter that's going to be on PS4
Mhm.
and is now on Xbox One, and you can't play with the PC players, and you're not going to be able to play with the other console players. So you're sitting here segregating a community that's already like, with
Not
most
huge.
MMOs, it's pretty small.
Yeah.
Because
I think
only
there's
so many of them
there's
can
a
be so big.
chance of making a MMORPG on console if it's console designed from the beginning, which Final Fantasy XIV was to some degree, and even that one is better on PC, right? But for Tera, where you add it later, I think it's gonna be a really hard fit.
Okay, well, here's the thing about like games like Tera. You can probably, I don't know, maybe that's wrong. But anyways, the thing about games like Final Fantasy XIV is that you have so many buttons, right? It's stupid awkward to try and fit
No,
all those buttons onto a
People say
controller.
they've played Final Fantasy XIV on console and it feels fine. Like obviously,
I disagree big time because you have to sit there and you have to hold like L1 and then press the O button or hold L2 and press the O button or something.
Not,
You
not
know,
only
it's
that,
like-
but I mean, I haven't played Final Fantasy XIV in a long time, but in my experience, you can tell who's a console player, and they heavily discriminate against you.
Good,
In the
as it
game.
should be.
Because they're generally really bad because they just don't have, like, they just can't control as fast as a mouse and a keyboard. So like during raids, like they'll get hit by stuff, and it really pisses people off. And they can
Okay,
kind of tell.
Like Amir, imagine like you have a combo, right? And you can just roll down your keyboard 5, 6, 7, right in a row. Imagine having to hit like L1 and then hit like a arrow button, and then hit R1 and hit a circle, and then hit L1 again and hit up on the arrow or the D-pad or something. It's
harder. I admit,
yeah,
it's definitely going to be
hard.
harder. It's going to be harder. And obviously, when given the option, I prefer mouse and keyboard, but it's doable. It's not like impossible.
Well, anything's doable, but like
it's not comfortable.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Like there's one genre that might be worse on console than MMORPG, and that is real-time strategy. And there was a port for StarCraft. Well, StarCraft too.
Grim Grimoire.
Grim Grimoire worked because it was made for console, right?
Mm-hmm.
But StarCraft was added to console later from PC, and that thing was awful for N64. We're talking the slowest speed. You get wrist cramps just trying to like move your little Marines around. Disaster. So I think that game ruined PC to console ports for me. I can't, if it came out for PC first with the PC layout in mind, and then it got ported to console later, I don't want to touch it because of my bad experience when I was young.
Somebody just mentioned DC Universe Online saying it works fine on console. So I mean, to each their own. I'm sure people can make it work.
DC Universe Online and like Elder Scrolls Online are more action focused. You need less buttons.
Yeah.
I think True Savior would do alright on console. Actually, I actually prefer the controller to the keyboard.
Really?
Yeah, I've played it, and like once I played it on controller, I don't really want to go back to the keyboard layout.
Wow.
So I think that would be a good candidate for console.
I'm not sure if this guy is trolling, but he said Age of Empires worked really well on a console.
I don't believe him.
I don't believe him either, because I've played tons of Age of Empires, and I just can't imagine it works well.
Well, I disagree with you guys. I think StarCraft 64 worked fine on consoles.
What?
Did you? What?
What the hell, man?
Yeah, I played it way back in the day.
Have you played like even remotely competitive StarCraft, where you need like a 50 APM at the minimum to survive on like?
Well, if you're playing local multiplayer, split screen on StarCraft 64, you have the same handicap, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, I would laugh trying to move my tanks around and stuff, like with my brother. Oh my god.
I feel like I could play with no hand, use my feet only, and beat a console player if they're playing StarCraft 1. All right, if they're on N64 and I'm on PC and we could somehow crossplay, I could beat them with my feet only. Right?
Yomar, I got a question for you and Shu. League of Legends on console, is it doable? Go.
Doable,
No
yes.
Practical, no.
Yeah, I think I would have on that one.
Like a game like Smite could pull it off.
Well, I mean, theoretically,
no way.
You can move around with the joystick and just hit A, B, X, Y, and then usually RB for the ult.
I mean, how are you gonna be able to do well with ground target and stuff?
Smartcast everything.
Oh.
No, but it'd be so.
Or
I've
use
never
your
smartcasted
right stick. Or use your right
Sure.
stick to aim.
I've never smartcasted in my entire life. So
That's
I have no
fair.
idea.
I actually don't like smartcasting either. I only do it on a handful of champions. But I play Singe, and I don't need to smartcast on Singe, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
All right, here's a follow-up on that. Could a team of 5 grandmasters playing on a, let's say, PS4 controller beat a 5 team of, let's say, silver or gold players in League of Legends?
Are we talking League?
League, yes.
If they're a challenger?
Yes,
I don't
challenger.
know. I don't know.
think so, yeah.
You'd have
No.
to
Silver players would win. Hands
Really?
down.
Really?
Yeah,
Hands
Ooh.
at the silver.
We gotta
guys.
figure out a way to do this.
Okay.
And, like,
Well,
Hey.
I mean, are you saying that they had time to practice, or you just threw them in the room?
no, they had a few games
guys,
to practice.
Guys, here's the problem. We don't have any frame of reference. No one has actually played League with the controller. We don't know how much it will actually affect them practically.
Matt. The Pirates have Pirates have never battled like modern day SWAT teams, but like, the History
Okay,
Channel
but
show,
that is a lot different.
Ultimate Weapon, whatever it's called, Deadliest Warrior, figures this shit out. All right, we got to run the simulations.
Actually, I have a more practical argument to this. Like, I just changed my keyboard out. It's like similar keyboard, but it's just like a different type. I bought the new Overwatch keyboard, and Omer saw that it was impacting my game in Type Racer. So I mean, it's like.
Well, yeah, a new keyboard takes a while to get used
Changing
to.
over is going to be, it takes a long time to get used to it. That's why I'm always like hesitant to change out my mouse or my keyboard. And I only use one brand because I don't want to mess around with that.
Somebody mentions there's a guy who plays Dota with a PS3 controller, and he plays Tinker. Apparently, he's really good. So there are people out there that can do crazy things. I can imagine there's a guy that's just so godlike with a DDR dance pad, he can beat me at League with a DDR dance pad. Or I'm sure there's one guy out there, but like most of us are not going to do well, with those kind of handicaps.
All right, well, before we get too sidelined, I want to reel it back into MMORPGs here. The game designer over at Elder Scrolls Online, he is very happy with the company's decision to release Elder Scrolls on console, and to make it buy to play, not free to play. He said, we've added millions of players on console. I guess they all bought the box or digital version, so he's very happy with that. And I wanted to say he's got one very cool line, and this is more proof for everyone that our definition of MMO is right. Okay.
All right, I like it. What's the quote?
Going? Let me find this here. Quote: MMO now refers to a technology, not a game design. Any game that allows millions of players to play together is an MMO. I wouldn't even say that ESO is a true MMORPG. I mean, it has common features, but it also has features that don't belong there. There you go. So everything's an MMO. We win.
So Counter-Strike 1.6 was an MMO.
Correct.
No,
So-
I think that's a little.
This guy's a game designer at an MMORPG.
I think that's a little different. I think that
That doesn't
by allowing
automatically make
millions
you
of
right.
people, I think by allowing millions of people to play together, it assumes that there is a persistent element that is hosted by, or regulated by a third-party server. That's what I've always thought.
Well, I mean, the Steam servers are not hosted by. There's Valve hosted servers.
But that's not what I mean. I mean, like, there's a persistent element, like leveling, that is regulated by a third-party server that you are forced to connect to every time you play the game.
Or items or something.
The
Like, do you
no,
think
the
Counter-Strike counts as
VAC.
that? 'Cause
You're forced to connect the VAC. There you go. Boom.
That's an
Okay, guys.
anti-cheat. That's
Whatever.
not a server.
Whatever.
Guys, before we get too deep into what is an MMO, MMOs.com already defined it. All right, who are you going to believe? MMOs.com or somebody else? All right, I think Sean wrote an
We
excellent
are
article.
MMOs.com and we're
Yeah.
arguing about it. What are you talking about?
Listen. I think Sean wrote an excellent piece on it. So anybody's curious what is an MMO? We have a very broad definition, but I think it's the right one. Obviously,
If
people are
anyone's
free
curious,
to
you
disagree.
should just let us argue right now.
How dare you stab Sean in the back while he's at the opera?
What?
How
Yeah, right,
dare
Matt? Matt, Sean can't even
How
defend himself
dare
right
you,
here.
Matt.
All right. Well, then it's interesting to note that this guy's definition, I guess, is even broader than many of ours. And he's not a nobody, right? He's running I guess a AAA MMORPG, so he has some authority.
Yeah. Also, I have also before we jump away from the console thing, I have a quick fix for it, and I'm curious why something like this never took off. I mean, given that consoles have such penetration, there's literally tens of millions of Xboxes, PS4s, all the consoles out there, so it is a viable channel for these games. Why can't a company just sell a keyboard and mouse for the console and literally just fix this problem?
I mean, they've been doing that since PS1. Remember?
But why hasn't that taken off? Like, imagine you can buy Neverwinter or Tera for the console, right? But it's a free-to-play game. But for console, let's say it costs $30, but it comes with a keyboard, a really cheap keyboard and mouse, and then your problem is fixed.
No, it's not. Peripherals never do well unless they come boxed with it.
No, you're right. They don't do well, but I mean, there are.
Well, actually, Mad Catz basically sank because Rock Band 4 didn't do well, remember? So.
Well, Mad Catz was always a shitty company that made god-awful peripherals, all right? Like, literally, imagine going to your friend's house back in the day.
No, Mad Catz is not shitty now.
No, they are shitty now. The sites
No, they're
have-
not, Matt.
People have taken them apart and analyzed them, and there are like
Matt.
wires that are barely hanging in
Matt.
there. There's grit in between like plastic pieces that makes them grind together.
All I know is when I went to my friend's house, my friends came over, like, whoever had the Mad Catz controller was like at a 10-to-1 disadvantage, right? It would always like tilt sideways, and it was like buttons stopped working, they got stuck. Like, you've
Okay,
never seen
making
$10
good fighting sticks does not mean that your whole company is good.
All right, I'm not saying they're all overall trash, but buy first party.
Guys,
peripherals.
let's reel it
Don't
in.
buy-
Let's reel it in. There was. What? Do you guys know what the first console-only MMORPG was?
Yes, EverQuest, something adventures.
EverQuest Online Adventures.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think this game came packaged with a keyboard of some sort.
Ooh. They were too early though. They were too early.
They were
Because if you
too
look
early?
at game MMOs today, I feel like the genre is bigger, and I think the reason people want to play, I mean, the reason there's a market for MMOs on console, is not because it's a console. It's because a lot of people don't have good PCs, but they have good consoles. So that's the opportunity. It's up to game designers and companies to take advantage of that, because really the only thing lacking, plus it would save on redesign. There'd be no need to redesign if you can just port to consoles and give everybody a controller and keyboard and mouse.
Well, I think consoles are kind of moving towards PCs anyway, and that's why we're seeing so many in this generation versus previous ones. Both consoles today, Xbox and PlayStation 4, use x86, which is like the Intel design. So there's less of a difference, I guess, between the two.
I can't remember what it was they used to use PowerPC.
Nintendo, and they still use it. What's it called?
Yeah.
Wii
It's the same thing that old Macs used.
Yep. Wii still uses that, Nintendo.
Do you remember how long EverQuest Online Adventures lasted before it shut down?
A couple years.
It's a game I've never played.
No, I never played it either.
Another world lost to the abyss of MMO graveyards.
Speaking of games lost to the abyss, a little transition, shall we? So a couple weeks ago, we reported that Spiral Knights and Puzzle Pirates were being shut down by Sega, which owns 3 Rings. But it seems a few of the former employees, they made a new company called Greyhaven, and they're gonna keep those 2 games alive: Spiral Knights and Puzzle Pirates.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
I just want to recognize this. I gotta look it up real quick. I gotta.
I mean, it's good that they're keeping it alive because for a big company like Sega, I guess the numbers didn't make sense because even if it was like borderline profitable, it didn't make sense to keep the city open. But I mean, Puzzle Pirates had an audience, and I'm sure it still does have an audience. Spiral Knights, I know, was never that big, but Three Rings had a pretty big player base, if I remember correctly, when I first looked at Puzzle Pirates.
Okay, so I just want to recognize this real quick. The company name, Grey Havens, is a reference to
Lord of the Rings.
Tolkien universe. Yeah, the transitional port between Middle Earth and the Undying Lands, which I thought was really clever because imagine Middle Earth is Sega and the Undying Lands is like
That's pretty funny.
we're there. Yeah.
Basically,
I
the
thought that
games
was
are in
pretty clever.
purgatory now, where they're gonna linger for a while until the employees give up on it finally.
I thought that was super clever.
Listen, if Red Fox Games can keep these old Duke games alive, all right, they can keep Puzzle Pirates alive.
Well, I mean, Red Fox or whatever is actually trying to make money. It's a commercial endeavor.
Yes.
I think this is just more of a passion on the part of the employees.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, maybe there's a way to make money, but there was even talk of them open sourcing the games. So I think it's more of a passion project, just trying to keep this community going, rather than Red Fox trying to make a commercial decision on what games to.
And I mean, you guys can feel free to disagree, but Puzzle Pirates is one of those things I think deserves to be like almost put in a museum as being one of those kind of games that's so much different than
You belong in a
everything
museum.
else out there. You know what I mean? Like once it's gone, you know how they talk about museums recovering like servers, and hosting like a little area where you can play these different games that have been long since shut down.
Mhm.
And that's one of the games that I would put in there because it's so much different than everything else. I mean, it really exemplifies something a game that did something that wasn't the status quo.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I never really got into Puzzle Pirate. I did play it briefly, but from what I've heard, some people really, really got involved in it, and it really left an impact on people.
Well, it's a sandbox where everything is a puzzle. Instead of like fighting, it's like a sword fighting mini game. When you're sailing, how well your ship or how well your ship sails is based on how well you do during the mini game. If you want to keep from sinking, somebody's got to bilge it out with a little like match 3 mini
That's
game.
pretty cool.
It's crazy.
Mhm.
There's a lot to it.
I think a game like this,
Never played this.
a new game like this on mobile would do really well because mobile is so suited for those match 3, bubble pop kind of mini
It
games.
Bubble
probably would.
Bubble Pop is a Korean song, buddy.
Whatever. What is that game called? With
Puzzle Bobble.
There you go.
whatever. The one where you got the little gun at the bottom and you throw it and you got to match.
Puzzle
them.
Bobble.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a whole bunch of games like that. They all have different names, but definitely not Bubble Pop.
Bubble pop.
It's a spin-off of Bubble Bobble, which was an
Yes,
arcade game.
yes, I remember
Yes,
that one.
there you go. That's
That
it.
game is amazing.
Quality game design.
Did you guys actually play Puzzle Bubble?
Yeah.
Bubble
I
Bubble?
think
I
not
played
the
Bubble
arcade.
Bobble.
I
Oh wait,
arcade
Bubble
like
Bobble. I mean, Bubble
Yes, in the
Bobble.
arcade. We did it. I remember in Patterson.
No, too long ago. But I think big news this week is not Puzzle Pirates related. Is Chronicles of Elyria related? All right.
No, not this
This
again.
is that Kickstarter. Listen. I don't like giving attention to the realm of bullshit Kickstarter games, and at the moment, I don't want to give too much attention to Chronicles of Elyria because again we're still skeptical. But it's worth mentioning because a lot of people got upset over this. Apparently, there will be no PvE server for Chronicles of Elyria. And it's going to be open world. There'll be PvP. And what do you guys feel about that? It got a lot of blowback on that.
Okay.
By stating that.
But I think there's
It's gonna
no
be-
PvE servers.
Yeah, open PvP.
Okay,
Even counts about PvP.
Here's my thing. I don't care that there's not going to be PvE so much as I care the way they tried to defend it. It's like, basically, we're going to make it like Eve, and you guys are going to be completely fine, we swear, as long as you don't leave towns, maybe. It's just like... I looked at that and went, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is what you're telling the people that just gave you $1 million?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this kind of makes sense because this whole thing just seems like a dreamy, pie in the sky dream of the guy who created the Kickstarter. So this is his version of the perfect MMO.
It's
But Erhan, the engine's been in development for 10 years, which means all this is already in game, and we just aren't seeing it.
This game. Did you guys hear what else he said recently? He said it's going to take half a year in real time to walk across the continent.
That's
Wait,
what?
Did you guys hear
What?
that? You guys didn't hear
No
that?
way.
Let me search this. Chronicles.
Well, also, you're only going to be able to be human, and you will not be able to choose specific traits based on where you put your background from or wherever it chooses. I don't know how the fuck it works. But
Okay.
anyways, you will have, like, your hair color and skin tone and everything dependent on where you live and your family.
Guys, it will take half a year to walk across the continent, one until the other.
That's insane. Again,
Oh, in game to traverse the continent. I'm not sure how fast the game goes and time goes in the game.
if that doesn't mean anything. Then if you say in game half a year, that
Well,
could
you
mean,
age
like,
though.
Yeah,
Don't
because
forget.
we have no idea.
No, but you
what
age
that
in the game,
means.
so it is bound to your character's life.
Yeah.
Or something.
I mean, again, it's still in development, and I'm very skeptical about these games. But as a design thing, I think it was worth mentioning because there's always a rift between PvE and PvP servers. And one commenter on MMOs.com left a pretty good comment. He said, "There's no such thing as a grief-free PvP game where PvP is allowed. And if it is allowed everywhere, you will be griefed everywhere. That's why a-holes play open PvP games, and why open PvP is always a stupid idea. Who needs the added stress of trolling in your leisure time when people in Western cultures are stressed out all the damn time anyway? And then there's the hey, Ponjo factor. There's too much real world in my role-playing game. Thanks. Want open PvP? Go play a MOBA. There are hundreds of them." I obviously disagree with that because I like PvP, but I understand where he's coming from. I mean, the games where you have crazy open PvP like Ultima Online, it failed to a degree because you can't have a world where a lot of people want to play PvE being forced to play with people that want to kill them in PvP.
You know,
Let them play PvP.
I've actually played a game that had really good open PvP that didn't have people trolling.
Which game?
It was an old MUD, and pretty much what was interesting about it was if you were to murder someone, there were actual to doing so.
Actual consequences.
Actual consequences. So, like, say like you're a member of a city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember? And you have a guild too, right? Because you're like have a guild for your class. And I walked up and I just randomly murdered you just for the hell of it, right?
Okay.
Now I'm enemy to your city, and all of the politicians for your city are gonna mark me as an enemy of the city. Then your guild marks me as an enemy of your guild, and like anytime I try to walk into your city, I'm just dead because like the guards will kill me.
Well, doesn't
And
even.
in order to get that
Still
clear,
people.
Okay, my question is, how many people played this on average,
Like 5.
concurrently?
5.
I mean, there was a lot at one point.
I have a much more relevant example.
How many is a lot? Because
I can
it
check
could
how
be
many are
that
on
there's
now.
just an understanding between the community, because communities get tight knit and they have understandings and they actually play them correctly.
I have a much better example, more recent and still active and big. EVE Online. You have a core.
People still
that's-
grieve in EVE Online all the fucking
right,
time.
but it doesn't take away from it being successful. It's still got 20,000-30,000 people concurrent at any time. It's got $15.
Because
subscription.
I think all the as you guys put it, a-holes decided that they have their best chance in EVE Online.
Maybe, but no, it's not fair. Because whenever I played, people were very nice. They always gave me ships. They gave me money. They gave me their time in terms of explaining the game. So I mean, you do run into assholes, but there were just as many non-assholes as assholes.
Yeah, but that's true of every game that's been out for a decade.
Right. Okay.
Also-
I played it a couple of years ago, so it wasn't quite a decade back then.
I think it's also fair to say, like, these games that have open PvP typically don't attract the huge audiences where you have PvE options, whether it's WoW or like Final Fantasy 14 today.
Was that a
Having
bad thing?
No, it's not. I'm not saying necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like they did almost a disservice to the people that gave them $1 million, all the people that funded Chronicles of Elyria, without explicitly saying this up front. Because I think a lot of people are going to be turned, like, literally won't want to play a game if it's open PvP. Like, I like those games. My brother likes those games. I'm sure some of you guys like those games. But I can understand the perspective of somebody that just doesn't want to touch those games. They don't want to be griefed. They want to play at their leisure.
Okay, but remember, we don't know the details yet about Chronicles of Elyria. A non-PvE server. Does that mean you can get just insta-camped in town? Or does it mean like EVE, where you're safe in the core, and then as you extend further out, you're less safe? So we don't know the details.
Hey, Matt, I just checked for you. There's 120 on, but that's pretty low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
These can exist in niche games, like really specific games.
But I mean, like, why can't they bring that to like a bigger community, right? Like, as in, like, so say in Chronicles of Elyria, you're part of a city, right? And then, you know, if you kill someone,
sure. I'm outside hunting. If you kill me, I uninstall the game. Simple as that. People don't want to be griefed.
But those people won't
care
play
about
the
the
game. Whatever, they'll
consequences.
play some other game. I don't think it's a big deal.
Exactly. You're right. That's why a game like Chronicles, a game can't be big if it has that kind of.
What's
PvP.
big? Is EVE big?
All right.
EVE has been on a downward slide for a
Well,
long
sure,
time.
EVE is
EVE is
huge.
not WoW,
It's
but
not
it's
huge.
big. You know,
It's
I
not
mean,
huge.
I mean, what's huge then? There's only like 3 games that are
Again,
huge then.
I
Okay,
like PvP.
EVE is down to what, 100,000 subscribers right now? think
I
it's
don't know
down to
about the total
100,000.
subscriber count, but I think 20,000 around is concurrent.
And let's be real, a game like EVE really captures that entire audience, by the way. EVE represents the entire...
That's not.
almost
No, that's
like
not true.
hardcore.
It's too abstract for a lot of people like me. I just this Excel spreadsheets and space. It's too abstract for me. I want to kill someone with a sword. All right, I want to stab you.
All right. Anyway, they did clarify saying there will not be a PvE server, nor will a certain region of the map, cities for example, be off limits for PvP. That being said, based on the sheer number of people plus NPC guards in cities, we believe that there will be a mostly safe place. So they're saying even in cities you can die.
Right.
You
So
can
the EVE model, where you can kill someone in town, but you have like 5 seconds or 10 seconds or 20, depending on how far you are, before the police come and blow you up.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna draw on their inspiration on that from EVE. Also, I want to go back to the size of the land. So the guy says the world, quote, in terms of actual land, it's almost exactly the size of Taiwan, and larger than over 50 different sovereign nations on Earth. So imagine walking across Taiwan, guys.
Fuck that shit. Okay. See, this game is going to become super niche, right?
It's not going to come out. It's too ambitious.
Wait. It's going to become super niche, and then what's going to happen is it's going to become like Haven and Hearth. Like literally, half the audience is going to become hermits on their own with maybe 1 or 2 friends in the middle of fucking nowhere and never encounter anyone else ever again.
I think from a design decision, as she was saying, that you could design a game that functions without too much griefing. If I'm playing a game, I'm minding my own business, you know, and some guy can just jump up to me and kill me, and I'm a casual player, I could see myself not wanting to play that game.
No, but okay, sure, anybody can do that, but that's what I'm saying, is that the consequences behind doing that would deter people from doing it in the first place. So if, for example, if you saw a level 1 newbie, right, and killing that guy got you enemied and you could not go enter a major city because of that, like,
how long?
you
Forever?
wouldn't do it all the time.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
I think you're
in
not.
the game
You really
I
like
played, you had
imagination.
Unless you
Well,
want to
like,
do
on
that all the
everything.
time, and then you just quit and go find a game that would let you do it all the time.
No. A game like Ultima Online had those punishments, Aurelia. If you killed 5 people, you were a murderer. You couldn't enter any city in the game ever, besides 1 murderer town, right? If you go to any city, you get one-shotted by guards instantly. Instantly.
Like there were like so
People
many.
still did it.
There were so many ways you could get that you could get back at somebody, or like there were so many consequences for somebody who killed somebody in that game. So this is just one of the consequences.
Yeah.
Not only can you never enter that city, not join your enemy to every guild in that city, any of those people will try to kill you. In addition, like say, like the person was like a huge asshole, you could hire an assassin, like straight up contract another player to kill that person.
You could do that in Ultima Online too. These are
Okay,
all you lose the stats permanently in Ultima Online. It was grave consequences if you did it, but people just did it all day
Well,
anyway.
I think you just lack imagination. Again, back to EVE. If EVE had a more classic medieval world, the audience would be much bigger. I don't think it's the griefing that keeps people away, because you're safe as long as you want to be safe.
I don't think it has to do anything with the medieval world. I think
griefing keeps people away. I mean, it won't keep me away. I enjoy griefing and getting grief sometimes.
Okay, I think it has to do more with the basic gameplay than the fact that it takes place in space.
Well, again, that's what I'm saying. It's like basically an Excel sheet. So if
But
the
you can
gameplay
do
was
not
more
an Excel
classic,
sheet.
if it was a classic MMORPG with the same rule set, I think it'd do fine. It'd be bigger than it is today.
I don't think so.
But anyway, I think they handle the grief thing well, open PvP well, and it's not hard for me to conceive of a game where open PvP and lack of grief in the core towns can live together.
I do. Can you name a game? EVE Online is not a good example.
Why?
Can you name a game that's vastly successful that has open
Okay,
PvP?
so EVE Online is a terrible example because high security takes a lot of firepower to fight off the NPC guards.
You can't.
Like,
You can't do anything in high security. One shot.
You have to literally have like hundreds of people fighting those things.
Okay.
I mean, it's possible, but it is not even slightly plausible. And I've read tons of shit about that.
Well, it's gonna be the same in Chronicles of Elyria or in Ultima Online. The guards.
No, that's not the way they describe it.
The guards are gonna
it was just
whack
town.
you. Well, in this game, the guards are gonna kill you. That's what they're saying.
Let me put it this way. Based on the sheer number of people plus NPC guards in cities, the way that reads is that they're counting on other players defending you on top of the guards, and the guards will do something, but it won't be like insta kill.
This is just writing. The game is not actually one going to come out, but two, if it does, it's not going to take this form. It's going to take the form. They're going to take the path of least resistance, which is guards just ganking you as soon as you do something bad.
This is the first time I think Matt and
I don't
agreed on
think
something.
they're going to, though. I don't think so. They seem like stubbornly attached to their ideas, and I really don't think that the one-shotting guard thing is going for the realistic setting that they want.
If it's not one-shotting one guard, it'll be 20 guards 20-shotting you. Okay, like that's gonna be the spiel.
Okay, you're assuming that any MMO AI is going to be smart enough that if you run into a back alley, that 20 of them are going to be able to attack you.
Forget the town. Let's assume they one-shot you in town. It doesn't matter. If you're outside town, minding your own business, and some guy just ganks you with his friend, right? Whether I don't care what the consequences are. At that exact moment, the player that got killed, right, is like, why am I playing this game? I'm gonna go play WoW where I can't get killed.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is
okay, and then
by the way, in WoW when it came out, you could get killed.
People will do
and then
people.
The other thing is, this is a non-issue for Chronicles of Elyria because if you don't like the fact that the guards are ganking you in town, you could just go build your own fucking town.
What? Sure. What were you saying?
I was saying that the thing is like if you have strict consequences for it, then people aren't like there's not going to be that many people like purposely grieving people because there's heavy consequences.
I agree.
Yeah, because they're going to quit. They're going to quit.
I grief you on my ult. I'm making new ult. I grief you on him too. Oh, the consequence is too big. I make another character. That's what people did in Ultima.
Why do you keep going back to Ultima more? It's too far away.
It proves that. I mean, look, I loved Ultima Online, but it proves that there's only so many sheep and so many wolves in a game. When everybody plays the game to be a wolf and harass people and grief people, the sheep are going to quit. They're going to play WoW. They're going to play something else.
Good. Then why is everyone going back to vanilla WoW, where with open
everyone?
PvP?
And not everyone.
Well, whatever.
Vanilla WoW had PvE servers, didn't they?
Sure, but it also had bustling PvP servers, where you could kill anyone outside town.
Good, that's fine. If they had that, there's no problem with PvP on Chronicles of Elyria if you break it down to a PvE server as well. Let people who don't want to participate in PvE don't participate, and let people that want to participate. It's a win-win.
Okay, but remember, Nostralis with the PvP had more people than most
Nostralis had a
today.
PvE server too, didn't it?
Right, but the PvP server on Nostralis alone was bigger than most MMORPGs today that are at live. So again, a game to be successful doesn't have to aim for everyone.
Oh, that's true. Fine. You could be successful with this model. That's fine. But I think you're alienating a big part of the player base. And if they want to say F you to that player base, that's fine. They're
not saying F you. That's like saying,
okay, so
why release a RTS today? Just make a match 3 for mobile. Otherwise, you're alienating the community. That's a stupid argument.
No, but this is so easy.
Okay,
you can fix this issue by making PvE servers.
You can fix this issue making a match 3 server.
But Erhan. Okay, so the whole consequences and the one-shotting guards thing, it doesn't work in another way because, like, Black Desert, people are bringing that up. It has the same thing like Ultima. If you're a red player, you can't go into towns, and if you go into, you have this other town that you can go into on an island somewhere. Anyways, people don't give a shit. The people that really want to grief you, all they have to do is grind for an hour or two, and they become a not red player again. You know, I mean...
I mean, what it sounds like to me, guys, you're trying to pigeonhole development in a certain mold forever.
No.
We have to experiment. Whether it's only
yes,
one.
but nobody's experimenting with ways to encourage PvE in a PvP friendly environment. Okay.
Okay, so why do you want to segment? I think first of all,
you're trying to pigeonhole it by making it one way or the other, right?
No.
Now.
I think the stupidest idea in MMORPGs ever is server rule sets. If your world needs to be divided in multiple into, for example, Ultima Online came out with Trammel, which was like basically a copy of the world but without PvP. That's the laziest and stupidest way to design a game. So whether the game is all PvP or all PvE, whatever it is, it should encompass one world, and that's why Eve is great. Because it manages to do a gradient in one world. So I want to see more games try that kind of method. And where the right gradient is, we don't know. But it's not, here's PvP, here's PvP, here's a roleplay, here's, this. That's silly. Or here's progression. It should just be one world. And the rules should be so dynamic that it just works.
Somebody in the chat said, why not alienate people? They're not trying to be a wild card. They're just trying to make a game they want. Okay, that's a fair point. They're just trying to make a game they want.
Yeah.
Right? I think it was unfair and dishonest for Nexon not to tell everybody from the get-go that this was the plan.
No,
this is coming out after it was funded. People funded money to this, believing the idea, and now they're told they can't play in a PvE server.
That's an issue.
That is not an issue. First off, if you're giving a
100%
Kickstarter, everything is caveat emptor. Anything can change. It's a Kickstarter. It's up in the air.
It's dishonest, but I think a lot of people went into this not realizing that there was never really an intention for PvE. Nothing I read stated that there was going to be a PvE server, but intentionally leaving that information out until now is the real problem.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, they should have said from the very beginning, we're not doing a PvE server, because then people wouldn't have donated on the pretense that maybe their idea would have counted. Like, I don't think that that many people went in there saying, oh, they said there's going to be a PvE server. But, they went in thinking, okay, this is $1 million. Like, how many of us think there should only be PvP servers?
Unless they said on the original Kickstarter there will be PvE servers, if you assumed it, that's nothing on the developer. That's not dishonest. That's not anything.
It was disingenuous.
It's not disingenuous at all.
It's not dishonest, but it's a lie by omission.
It's not a lie by omission.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. How? In what world?
MMO today has PvE servers.
So what does that mean?
If you're making an MMO and you know the industry, the very first thing that you should do is make sure that you write down whether you are going to let there be a PvE-friendly server without PvP or not.
First of all, the whole concept of PvP and PvE is lazy stupidity. It should just be called one thing: gameplay. You play in this world.
Okay, that's like saying.
Oh my god!
That's getting abstract.
That is really dumb, because that's like saying that both, like, Overwatch and Call of Duty's campaign
we're talking
should
about
both be called
MMORPGs here.
gameplay. No, but this is the exact same thing.
What?
This is the exact same thing, because Overwatch and Call of Duty's campaign should just be called gameplay.
Well, they
right?
are. It is just gameplay.
It shouldn't just be called shooting AI versus shooting other players.
It should be fun
right?
gameplay. The gameplay should be engaging and fun.
But it's not fun to everyone. It's subjective.
Oh,
that's the problem.
If you don't like chess, don't play chess. If you don't like this gameplay, which is PvP / all this one world, don't play that game.
It was a lie by omission. Wait,
it wasn't.
They didn't know that.
Listen, whether you like it or not, modern MMORPGs today, there is an expectation by players to be PvE and
that's why MMORPGs suck today.
Okay,
Everything is pigeonholed.
That's fine. You could say that, but it's also an a-hole move to just sneak this on people.
It's not. It's an awesome move.
You gotta tell people
we want to do
what
something
they're
new.
Buying.
Yes, you gotta tell people what they're buying into.
Oh, too bad they're not buying anything. They're giving money on Kickstarter.
Oh my god, are you not exactly the same person that was just talking about Kickstarter scams 3 months ago?
Exactly. He's not buying. You're not buying anything on Kickstarter.
No, you too.
No. I'm cool with Kickstarter. If you want to burn your money, go ahead. But then don't complain about anything. I think this guy, if he just made a post-it note saying Chronicles of Elyria, retail product, and gave it to you, that's fine. He wasn't dishonest.
No, he's 100% asshole in that situation. No. But you take it to the extreme now. Okay, as Shaw would say, as Crazy Cream pointed out, this is going in circles. One last statement from everyone, and we move on. All right.
All right. We need change in this industry. We can't use if any new game uses old labels, it's not making progress. So we need a new kind of world where PvP, PvE, all of it is in one. No distinction like that. We can't use old labels for new products. That's it.
Okay, that's Matt.
I'm not saying that Erhan
Oh my
is
God.
wrong, but I am saying that at this current time, we need to find a way to integrate PvE in a way that PvE players are happy without getting ganked constantly.
Sure.
I have no comment.
No comment for sure.
And also, yes,
make
Radical, tell the
MMORPGs
people
great
what your
again.
game is.
Altai 2016. All right, my statement again. I don't want to come off as the guy that's defending the PvE players. I was the hardcore Ultima player. I enjoyed hunting the PvE players and making their life miserable, taking all their money. I was the wolf, all right? I like hardcore PvP, but in modern day MMOs there is an expectation, whether we like it or not. There is an expectation for there to be segmented PvE or PvP, and Altai makes a good point saying new games shouldn't do that. Fine, it'd be great if we can get past that, but we haven't gotten past it yet. And I do feel it's a bit of a lie by omission. I do feel people do feel betrayed that they funded the game, thinking there was going to be a PvE server, and there might not be.
Yes.
Again, this is more about game design and conceptual than Chronicles of Elyria, because Chronicles of Elyria is still a Kickstarter game, and being a Kickstarter game, I don't take it too seriously, but I think it still brought forth good discussion.
Good hustle. Good hustle.
I also think just what you have to remember, and
we said last
not
word.
going. This is not going in
Yeah,
circles.
we're
What
done.
you have to.
All right, cut off. Let's go. Let's move on. I got a piece of news.
I got one too. I got Kickstarter news.
Fine, then you won't remember.
Fine, Kickstarter. Go. I don't want to
Here
remember.
we go. Kickstarter. I love looking at random Kickstarter pages for games that will never come out. Blades
Oh
of
my
War.
god! I saw this on Greenlight.
Blades of War is another game that, guys, guess what, is never going to come out. All
But
right,
guys,
Take a look
it
at
got
this game.
$15.
And 74
What is
cents. Blades of War is an open world MMORPG which is built by a small developing studio. Not even a development studio, a developing studio.
Dude, I
Together-
like this last one. The last sentence is the best.
Together, we try to make the best MMORPG for you. So this is just yet another Kickstarter page for a game that will never come out. It's
Okay, wait.
Go ahead.
Biggest sign this guy is super naive. As it stands, at the moment, there will not be risks. Game development itself is a risk.
Wait, what?
His risks and challenges page saying there's no risk. Give us your money. That's what he's saying, basically.
I
As
think
it
that's
stands,
fair.
there will be no risks.
Hashtag no scam.
Hashtag no scam.
We are, dude, it says risks and challenges. We are in contact with some studios which are producing our gifts for you. Like, what? What?
I want you to look at the
Scroll
guy's
down.
website too. Look at the guy's website. Okay, obviously based on the Kickstarter alone, it's a joke. It's never going to be fun. It's a pie in the sky dream, right?
Guys,
Guys, look at this website. This is his studio's website. Games are the revolution. You know a game is bullshit when their official company website lists their quality assurance manager by their internet name. Lord_Loli is one of their employee names, guys.
Super professional, man. Lord Loli.
So professional. And just read what we offer. Fantastically graphics, guys.
I
And
feel
ev-
like, oh my god, I feel like we went through this just last week with a different game.
Matt, every week there's a garbage game coming on Kickstarter.
No, I
It's
mean
never
the
gonna
what
happen.
we offer thing, like everything. This feels carbon copied from another game.
You know, every other game gives you okay support. They offer pleasant support.
No,
all
this
right,
guy's
it's all
awesome.
about that pleasant support. So again, this is a game that's most likely never going to come out. It's by some guy. It's funny too. If you look at the guy's profile page, he says before we found our studio, I wanted to make RPG games with RPG Maker. But after 3 weeks, I learned I could do a lot more than RPG Maker, so I started to learn Unity. So he's a guy who stumbled on RPG Maker and did nothing with it because he didn't release a product. Then he's like, oh, I can do more shit with Unity. And now he wants to raise money? Come on.
Yeah, basically he booted the Unity default engine and walked around
Yes.
these forests.
Yo, he's a game designer. All right? Award-winning game
Jeez.
designer at work right here.
Hey, he's raised $15 for a game. That's more than any of
$15
us
more than
did.
I have.
Actually, Matt, how much did your game sold?
Like $20.
Oh,
Yes,
you haven't beat.
All right, Matt, you're the resident expert now.
I think 24 to be exact.
So, guys, if we give this guy $10, he'll have Matt beat. I think that's a worthy goal.
All right, I'm funding. We're funding. You know what's hilarious? Like, he needs to raise $6,000. And the last minute, because it's 43 hours left to go, on the last minute, I'm gonna give him $1,000 to get him excited. But then it's gonna expire worthless.
Oh,
dude, Omer, read the pledge goal. It says, pledge whatever that symbol is, one or more Every help is a help. Thank you very much. Then the second
Every
one,
help is a help.
the second one, you will get a Steam key with the complete game on it.
I love the fact that game and on it are two different lines. That makes it even better.
Wait,
By the way,
you'll get a Steam key with the complete game on it as opposed to what?
Although we will in the list under backers. Although you will in the list under backers. Look at the third one.
Let's look at 70.
oh my god. Quality material, guys. Quality
Oh my
material.
God.
And by the way, shoot, that's the euro sign for future reference.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Let's see what 5,000 gets you.
Monopoly money.
Limited edition from Blades of War with a poster, a shirt, a mousepad, and a special character with a special item in the game. But that's not all. You will also get early access pass. Wow. Because guys, this game costs 5,000 for an early access pass.
Although you will be in the list under sponsors.
Right. So I want to say definitively,
Sponsorsaurus.
you can't make a Kickstarter and start talking about there's going to be a warlock. He's going to have these cool abilities. Oh, we're going to have these stats like strength and deck. No, nobody cares. That's such obvious nonsense.
No. Look at gold. Look above classes. It says gold. Read that.
Gold is the currency of the game! Exclamation. With it, you can buy different things like potions or fences. Why do you go from potions to fences to create your own room? What you can't buy is the experience because you have to pass through quests. And you spelled quest through incorrectly.
Did you say that you create your own room with fences?
Yeah, I live in a room with like surrounded by 4 fences. That's how I live, bro. Oh my god. So
Dude, does he sell roofs too, or are we just gonna get rained on all the time?
Nope, get rained on.
This guy's
all day.
awesome.
All aboard the newest hype train, as Casual Hardcore says in the chat. Okay, this is why you can't take Kickstarter games seriously. Whether it's Blades of War or Chronicles of Elyria, they're the same thing in my mind. All right, until the game comes
Obviously.
out, I don't take it seriously.
All right, now my segue, boys.
Yes.
Ready? So, the Kickstarter and early access are doing so well that a real studio, Google, decided, hey, maybe we should do this too. So the Google Play Store for Android is adding an early access section. So now you can get ripped off. You can get ripped off on mobile too.
Wait, no. See, nobody cares about. Nobody should care about this because this already existed. It's just nobody made a big fuss out of it because Google Play was so unregulated to begin with that anyone could put anything up there, not say it was unfinished, and then go, oh, hey, I just added the other half of my game yesterday.
Oh, so is it still like that, or is this going to be clamped down and just kind of segment the shit towards?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be like, if you want to advertise that your game is unfinished, you can put it there. But we all know that at least some of the Google Play games that we have played have been unfinished pieces of crap.
So here's a question for you guys: is the quality control better on Google Play or Steam these days?
It's close because it's pretty unregulated too. I think you can almost anything. On
I
Google
plead the
Play.
fifth.
You can get anything on Google Play, whether it's just even like copyrighted nonsense, we'll get through. Like if you make a game that just steals assets, no problem, you'll get through.
Didn't
Again,
some guy make a? Go ahead.
Somebody made a Minecraft app that wasn't actually Minecraft. It like stole information from your computer or your tablet or something, and it was like top selling. And it took until it was in the top 10 or something until Google took it down. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like that.
She has a great idea for a Kickstarter campaign. Let's hear it.
All right, I'm gonna kickstart a VR MMO full dive Sword Art Online MMO, and then under say the technology doesn't exist yet.
Nice.
I covered my ass, you know.
Yeah, you're fine. Sure, you're good then. You're not lying at all. You're not being disingenuous. You got all the bases covered.
I should also put that that I need to get the license to make a Sword Art Online game.
And you have to go to school to learn computer science.
Yeah.
But
That should be,
you can handle that after you raise $1 million, right, Shu?
That's
I'll just put that the game is not coming out for like 20 years.
Did you guys want to something hilarious, right? So speaking of Kickstarter, when Homeworld was up for sale because THQ was failing, fans started an Indiegogo for $50,000 to try and buy the rights to Homeworld, right? And open source it and port it to tablets. And then Gearbox bought it.
Nice.
Ooh.
But they're gonna use it. They actually used it though, so it's all right.
Yeah, they actually used it, but it's still hilarious.
Here's a link and we're sent. This is something he submitted to Reddit, right?
Yeah, I did pretty well on it actually. If you want to put on the
Put it on. So what is going on here? Explain this to me.
Okay, so I was looking at I think I was on our YouTube channel and I saw an ad for it was one of those booby ads for a game called Legend Night, and I clicked on it. Right? I clicked on a booby ad. It was a big busted lady saying like for males only. So I clicked on it out of curiosity. I knew what the game was anyway. And when you land on this is a landing page for Legend Night, right? And look at those testimonials. They're so obviously fake, right? So if you look at the testimonial, it says whether you slay dragons, fight battles, or complete quests, the game makes time fly. Blah 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 blah. Right? It's all nonsense. And it's written by Arthur Appleton. And then the next testimonial is the exact same copy-pasted testimonial from above, but it's by Abby Ashworth. Word for word copy.
Maybe they had very uncreative parents, all right? AA.
But you know, the same. It's like if you're going to use fake testimonials, which let's be real, like almost everybody uses fake testimonials. When you see a testimonial on a website, it's probably fake, right? But at least have the common decency to make it believable, right? Have the smarts, because they spent thousands on this advertising campaign. These ads were everywhere, and they were so stupid they couldn't just use a different name that was one believable and not the same testimonial. Unbelievable.
I think more importantly though, today, since we don't have any news from Nostalrius yet, sadly, let's talk about the Warcraft movie.
Great
It is
idea.
holding a 29 on Metacritic right now.
Is it even out?
Reviews.
How's it have?
I don't know, but 4 reviews.
But who?
29.
Who reviewed it?
4 critics apparently.
Variety, The Wrap, The Hollywood Reporter, and Screen International.
Oh.
They're on Metacritic, so they got to be legit.
That's interesting. Wow, that's not good. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter to me, but
So good at making the most outlandish elements of his first 2 films seem credible, Jones can't find a way to get this cartoony spectacle to soar. His heartfelt approach to the material only underlines the silliness.
honestly,
Heartfelt approach.
real talk, it did look so silly in the commercial, in the trailer.
I've always described it to people that ask about it because, you know, I write for an MMO site now. People are like, what about that Warcraft movie? I'm like, take Lord of the Rings, take the story out, and just make it like the fight scenes between the orcs and the humans. And that's what it looks like to me.
That's a pretty
There's
good.
got to be a story.
That's
Come
pretty
on.
good. I like that. Well, the story is the original Warcraft, right? Where their world is ending. They got to go through the portal to come to Earth, or as whatever the world is. And then they fight, and then they decide to let them settle.
I think if this bombs the way, like, yeah, there's only 4 critics. Obviously, it could still turn around, right? It could still get a solid 60, 70 after like 20, 30 critics leave their opinions. Like, if this bombs, I think it's going to be a big hit for video game movies, even though they didn't have a good rep to begin with. But it's only going to get so much worse because Blizzard's a real company throwing real money at this. If they can't do it, nobody can.
That's like, did you guys ever see the Silent Hill movie?
Nope.
I haven't.
It was god-awful, don't.
I'm not surprised.
You know what
You know
movies
what
did
would be
okay?
a really good movie?
It was a
actually?
UA Bowl movie.
Oh God.
She will be a good movie.
They should make an Overwatch movie about the passive Overwatch. You know, the same thing that they used for their trailer. Should look kind of Pixar-ish, and that would do really well.
Unless it sucked.
I don't know yet. Again, it's
Like a
too early.
superhero. Is it just a superhero movie, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I can
Tracer's a good character. A good
I
lead
can
character.
predict the headline now. Overwatch movie completely unnecessary, just like the Angry Birds movie.
Yeah, Angry Birds movie was
That's
completely
like not
necessary.
even a fair comparison. What the
Matt.
what the
Matt.
fuck?
Oh, the Angry
Overwatch
Birds movie.
story versus Angry Birds? Are you fucking for real?
Guys, this Overwatch. Have you guys? I still haven't seen any of the animated shorts, and they look. I've seen like screen caps, and they look beautiful. I'm gonna watch them after this podcast with my brother, and we'll see if.
Speaking
I
of
like them.
Overwatch, guys, that's a big news. You know what came out yesterday? Overwatch. All right, who bought the $60 version and who bought the $40 version? Go.
I bought 40. I'm a cheapo.
Shu?
Sorry, I was watching the trailer. What
Did you watch? Did you buy the $60 or $40 Overwatch?
Oh, I bought the $60 one.
I bought
I
60
play
as well.
HOT, so it was worth it for me because I got Tracer.
Ooh,
I didn't
Yeah.
buy it.
you didn't buy it, Matt. All right, fair enough.
No,
got a
I
little
stayed
bit-
up last night finishing some Japanese game instead.
What Japanese game?
Toho Kokishin.
All right. Might as well share it if you
So-
can bring it up.
For us three who did play Overwatch, reactions of the launch.
Solid.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was shocked by how smooth it went compared to Diablo 3, which was unplayable at launch. Did anyone disconnect?
Uh,
I had some friends who disconnected a few times.
I had no issue.
But it was 20 minutes late. How could you say that it was?
Okay, come on, 20 minutes late. Cut them some slack, all right? All right, I want to. One of my friends messaged me while I was playing yesterday. Panda Man. I follow him on Twitter too. He says he's enjoying the game a lot, and he's so burnt out of tilt-heavy multiplayer games. Being able to play a competitive game for once is a huge blessing, and I think that's what Overwatch does correct. I feel it's very frustration-free.
I think it is now because there's no ranked yet.
Yes.
Once rank comes out, which will be at the end of this month, correct?
And next month, June.
End of next month, my bad. Okay, you're gonna start seeing the same kind of stuff. Like, why did this guy pick another DPS when we needed a tank? You know, you're gonna see that same.
Yeah, but again, you can still play casual if you don't want to be tilted too much. Again, no, because a game like Overwatch doesn't last that long. How long is each match? Like 10 minutes max?
Oh, so you'll be tilted for 10
No,
minutes instead of
it's
20 or 30.
15, I think. 15.
Right,
They're
fine, 10
really
to 15
short
minutes.
though.
They're much shorter than League, which can go up to 50 minutes, or Dota, which goes up to 50 minutes. And they're way more frustrating.
Oh, by the way, when you guys asked what version of the game I bought, yeah, when I bought the $60 one, I also bought loot boxes.
How many did you get, Shiro? How many did you get? How many
I got
gotchas
the
did you buy?
highest pack. I got 50.
50 loot boxes?
It's only $40.
It's $40. Okay, so you paid 100 for total so far.
Yeah.
Hey, I should buy another 50 and then
You should.
stream it.
Great idea.
You guys want to see?
I don't know. See,
You guys want to see me open 50 loot boxes right now?
Let's do it.
Not right now. If you buy more, Shiro, just record it. We'll put it on the YouTube channel, all right?
Yeah, sure. I'll do it. I'll do it
The
later.
frustrations of
No,
opening
do it live
loot
though. It's more fun live. I'd watch that live.
Yeah.
Well, how
no,
about?
see,
Oh, okay, yeah.
someone said that you guys are in the honeymoon phase, and that's like, I really liked it during the open beta, right? But when I was trying to decide whether or not to buy it, I went, am I really going to play this any other time but when they're streaming and I just jump in? And I think my answer was no.
Yeah, for me, it's a game that I'll play if like a friend needs a sixth player, you know, like just casually once for a little bit. I don't want to take it. I don't want to do ranked or anything because that's just gonna make me angry and get everyone else angry. And I do think you're gonna see rage after rank comes out.
Yes.
Mark
again,
my words.
Of course, but again, we're talking varying levels of rage.
I don't know. You're gonna see the full tilt rage.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
Me, on the other hand, I'm enjoying Overwatch a lot. I play by myself. I played with two different groups of friends last night, third group of friends afterwards. And then like I tried to go to sleep, but I couldn't sleep. I got back up at like 2 a.m. and I played Overwatch by myself. And I had no problem. I enjoyed myself playing solo. So I could see myself hopping on to play solo, even if I don't have friends to play with at that moment.
So I'm
enjoying the game a lot.
Now, besides the technicals and the rage and stuff, how do you guys like the gameplay itself? I think it's a great. It feels fluid. It functions. There's no like stutter. So I think it's done a great job on the technicals.
Awesome characters.
It's really smooth and it's easy to pick up and play. I mean, literally the only problem I have with it is that it doesn't support my resolution. That's it.
What's your resolution?
2560 by 1080.
Oh, that's weird. So you have the one way correct, but you derped on the other direction. I got you.
No, it's ultra wide. So.
Fair enough.
I think Overwatch is going to be a huge success for Blizzard. Curious to see, like, we're going to find out numbers probably within a year, whether like how many people are online at once, how the sales are looking, because Blizzard is a public company, they do report numbers. They don't always break it out by game, but they usually say like the growth is like 20% year over year for this game or this franchise. So we'll see how the game does later. My bet is it's going to do amazing. It's going to blow it out of the water.
Oh, I think it's going to do fantastic. But
Fantastic.
I just probably won't be playing it. Like I said, I can't justify $40 to play when you guys stream.
Mm-hmm. I think it could be bigger than CS:GO, which is currently the biggest, PC.
I think for that we'll have to wait to see on when rank comes out and how they take the tournaments, how they do the tournaments.
I'm eagerly waiting for ranked. I'm the kind of guy that wants to be the best amongst his friends. Like if I see my friend or somebody I know that has a higher rating than me, it's going to make me play a lot more. So if I see Shu has a higher rating than me, I'm not going to go sleep till I beat her. So sorry, Shu.
So okay, who's better? Who's better? I'm Shu right now.
We can't measure it right now.
Oh,
but I know for a fact Chicken is better than me. One of my friends.
Different roles and stuff too, so it's like, it's hard to kind of.
You can't measure it yet.
Measure it.
If we both played solo and like we played together too, right? After a while, we start playing solo as well. We'll be able to tell at that point who's better. But as is, it's impossible to tell. But with my other friend Chicken, who is pretty competitive at games, I already know he's better than me right now. But when I see
Chicken's
his
like the best tracer I've ever seen.
Yeah, he plays godlike
It's
tracer.
ridiculous.
So that's gonna motivate me to get better by seeing his ratings or some of my other friends' ratings. That's gonna make me want to play. It's just the kind of gamer I am.
I'm getting streaming software. And stream the thing.
What is
Nice.
streaming software? Like
so
OBS?
You could stream. I have XSplit because I bought
okay.
it.
Okay.
XSplit is much nicer than OBS.
Guys, now that we brought up Overwatch, we gotta bring it back. We gotta mention the Chinese Overwatch clone. All right.
Oh God, no! Oh
We're
God.
doing it. It's coming.
Who played this?
Okay.
Was it
Okay.
Sean or
I have. That was me.
Oh, nice.
I have one thing to say about this. Just one thing.
One thing.
Who
Let's
the
hear it.
fuck sat down in an office one day and went, you know what would be great if I could play Overwatch on my iPhone? Like, who?
Dude, doesn't.
What the fuck?
Guys, mobile gaming is big money. Come on.
Have you ever played a first-person shooter on mobile with the default touch controls?
I have not,
Ever.
but I can only imagine it's terrible.
It is one of the worst experiences I have ever had. Like Nova, which is, oh shit, that company that does all the major mobile whatevers. Anyways, that company's game Nova, it's regarded as one of the best FPSs on mobile, and I still hated it. It was one of the worst experiences I've ever had.
Matt, just look at these characters. Look how original they are. All right, that's clearly not Roadhog we're seeing in that picture. All right.
Okay,
Completely
let me just say that clearly the Tera equivalent was stolen from fan art somewhere because it's gender bent.
Clearly Reinhardt's. That's definitely not Reinhardt. That's somebody completely different. All right. So original. Look at all these original characters.
Did you see what they did with the Tracer one? The one there with the red ass like pants there?
Yep.
Yep.
Completely different, Matt. If anything, Overwatch copied them. Come on, you gotta give it. The Chinese are always on the cutting edge of.
I like their bullet points on the
originality.
slide. Bullet 1 is FPS plus MOBA. All right, they figured it
No,
out.
but the world's first FPS MOBA hybrid. That's what they said. That's
Wait.
what that says.
Why is there
Chinese studios are so like.
on the second page of pictures like there's a straight up tracer? What the fuck?
I'm gonna look at that second page.
I showed it earlier.
That's pretty funny.
Oh my god,
Look,
guys!
Chinese studios are on the ball. All right, they're so like unapologetically like brash on like what they do and what they claim. And they spent over $2 million developing this game so far. It means Legend of Titan. It's hilarious. Unbelievable they can get away with this. And Overwatch is gonna launch in China anyway. So I guess they didn't want to compete with Overwatch on PC because nobody's gonna play this garbage game when you can play Overwatch. But I guess they're trying to capture a piece of the mobile market. And because mobile is so like the way it works in China is too, there's not like an app store for iOS and Android. Like right now Google Play and the App Store are really the only app stores in the US. In China there's like 1,000 app stores for both iOS and Android. There's no central regulation on this. If you can't get on the official Apple Store, who cares? Nobody uses that. Everybody uses these other app stores, and there's millions of them. So they can get away with it over there.
So somebody asked, can't Blizzard sue these guys? And based on, okay, I only have one case that has precedence right now.
Mhm.
But based on what happened with Naruto Online, what I gather is the original rights holder can't do anything. But if they license it to a company in mainland China,
Yes.
that company can then do something about it.
Yes,
That's-
that's correct.
That's
That's correct.
what I gather right now. It's just nobody really ever does anything except for Tencent with Naruto. They shut down all the Naruto MMOs they could.
That's fine. This guy said I effing love China in all caps after this. China's awesome, all right? They basically give the whole world a middle finger and do what they want, all right?
I know. Speaking of Blizzard, how's Legion gonna do, guys? What are your thoughts on that?
It's going to sell, but it's...
It's hard to say.
And who thought it was gonna come out at the same time as the movie, and who was disappointed?
Is it coming out after the movie?
No, see, this is brilliant because they're selling tickets they're selling with tickets. You get a copy of WoW, and every one of the expansions is not Legion, so they can take all those moviegoers and have them converted to WoW players right before they launch Legion.
That's all right. That's interesting.
That's actually really smart.
That's brilliant.
So when is the movie coming out? For like
June 10th for the movie,
June
I think.
10th. Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 months
I'm gonna
later
go see it
for
for
the
curiosity,
game.
but
2
that's
months is
it.
a long time, I guess, but we'll see.
Yeah. You know what's crazy too? We did mention Gearbox. I gotta throw this in there. I gotta throw it in there. If you bought Battleborn, I feel like you kind of got robbed. The game is already $20 off, literally less than a month after launch.
Wait, where is the
Wait,
$20
really?
off?
Yep, Battleborn is $40 on Amazon and GameStop right now.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, imagine you bought it for $60 and you were eager to play the game. All of a sudden, it's $20 off in less than a month. I feel like you get I feel like you got cheated at that point.
Okay,
Well,
so
they had to compete with Overwatch.
you might feel cheated right now, but I mean, I think anybody that buys on day one is either A, an idiot, or fully should be aware of the fact that it could be discounted at any moment. Because that's
Everybody
just the
yes,
way the
you're
industry
right.
is.
Of course, games get discounted, but rarely do AAA. I hate saying the word AAA, right? But it's a major title.
No,
A
this
full
is becoming
title-
a normal thing. This
Really?
really is becoming a normal thing. Yeah.
From like, we're talking like actual games, $60 games from big studios. that go-
Yes, it's happened. I don't remember what it was, but I definitely remember seeing it. And then they have places like Green Man Games that have those third-party distributors that they get their keys from, and they were selling Witcher half off before it launched.
But I think it's an easier explanation than just games discounting in general. Okay, your game was $60, and Overwatch came out for $40, right? At that point, how could you justify your $60
But they're not
price?
the same kind of game.
I mean, they
It's
are
actually-
the
one's
same
an
kind of
actual-
game.
One's actually a MOBA, and the other one's not. The other one's a shooter.
It's a shooter, but it's a team-based shooter with classes and roles.
But it's. You have to remember, Battleborn is actually a MOBA though.
Okay, the only difference is it's like 5 useless creeps that die every wave
When
instantly.
you level up, you get abilities. You get. It's not.
You
like
level
that.
up in this too. You get your ultimate. It takes a while.
What? And you
No,
don't level up.
You don't
just
level
charge
up,
your
but
ultimate.
you don't start with your ultimate.
Yeah, you charge up every time you attack.
Okay.
But that's not the same thing.
What is experience but an abstraction of like your character getting stronger? You're getting stronger by.
You're getting too abstract on this. The games are. They're both video games and like
No,
shooters.
but
That's the
my
only
point is
similarity they
experience
have.
points was always like a way to show progress, like a way to show growth.
Oh, you're getting way too abstract, like you were with Chronicles earlier. Who here thinks the games are really comparable?
I
Come
think
on.
comparable. I think okay. Who thinks they're comparable? I think they're comparable. They're not the same, but they're comparable.
Sure.
Okay, I don't really think that you can compare Battleborn to other MOBAs because, one, you have to build every one of your defenses, basically. Two, you have these creeps that are not intended to actually kill things, but like to just go straight into something that kills
That's every
them.
MOBA. That's every MOBA.
No.
I think they're pretty different.
Yeah, I think they're completely different.
Completely.
Yeah.
They're both
You-
cartoony
They're very
shooters.
different games, but okay, here's the problem though: is despite them being different games, they fulfill the same feeling. I think.
Oh
for
wait,
players.
I zoned out, and I completely missed. I thought you guys were
So
comparing
because of that,
Battleborn
I
to
think
other MOBAs.
They're going
No.
to be heavily
No,
impacted.
I think they're in direct competition for the same player base.
No, I don't think they're in direct
No.
competition at all. No,
I'm not changing
Okay,
my
so-
stance.
Wait. I think
So-
they are actually.
Thank you,
Well,
Shu.
I think they are in
Thank you, Shu.
competition.
In video games, sure. In that
No,
regard,
the same kind of audience.
the
Not-
same casual audience, sure, but the type of game is not the same.
Yeah,
Okay,
I agree with
well-
that. The type of game is not the same because
Okay, here's
they
the
have
thing,
the same feeling. They have the same like, how to explain it? They
No.
give you the same feeling when you play it. So that's why I feel like they are going to be in competition,
Okay,
and it
long
just
term-
spells. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Long term, I think Battleborn is going to capture the PvE player more than it's going to capture the PvP player.
What? You play Overwatch for PvP? Come on.
I said Battleborn,
You play Battleborn for PvP.
Yes.
but
a
you
MOBA.
have to
Who
play
plays-
so much PvE that
I think that drags it down. That's gonna fatigue people.
I think it's going to capture the same audience that like Borderlands would capture more
No,
so than it
not
is
at all. Come on,
Overwatch.
this is a MOBA. You play against other. You play to play against other people.
No, it's half a MOBA. That's the thing, and we are looking at it as we would play the MOBA. But what do you really think that everybody is thinking that?
I think most people go into this playing the MOBA mode, not the nonsense PvE mode.
I'm still sticking by guns. Same kind of game. Bada bing, bada boom.
It's
You're
not the
blind.
same. Okay, that's
You're
like
just wrong on that one.
Let's take a
that's
poll.
like comparing Paragon to League. Not to
Yeah.
League. No, sorry.
Quake 3,
Paragon
Quake
to TF2.
Yeah.
Paragon to TF2.
No.
That's it. Sorry.
No,
That's actually
TF2,
perfect.
TF2 to Paragon. Okay, they both shoot. Is Paragon a shooter even? Don't you have melee classes and
You're
stuff?
free,
It's
there's
shootery. It's shootery.
Shooter E. Battleborn is straight up shooter.
No, there's melee class. What are you talking about?
No,
So,
it's
well,
not.
Overwatch
It's
has
not
melee
straight up
classes
shooter.
too.
Yeah. You asked if Paragon was only a shooter.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
there's
think.
some shooters
Okay,
in
no,
both.
I think Paragon plays differently than Overwatch and Battleborn.
Paragon
Paragon
has
is
no
closer to-
resemblance to
Paragon
Overwatch.
is closer to Battleborn than Overwatch is.
But you can't compare a MOBA to a game like Overwatch.
It doesn't really matter though. Like what
Okay,
you're
I don't care what they
labeling
call
it.
themselves. You're jumping around shooting people. Like that's
Okay.
that.
Yeah, that's exactly what people are gonna see
Yeah.
when they play it, and that's kind of how it feels like, and that's why it's gonna
They're
be
not the same
competition.
kind of game.
Somebody in chat just said people might confuse Battleborn and Overwatch for the same.
That's
thing, too.
because of art style. They're talking about anime.
And the guns and like shooting people and the classes.
Okay, nobody doubts they vie for the same player base. They vie for the gamer player base. That's fine.
No,
That's
no, no.
relevant.
They vie for the same player.
The
You can't just say
gameplay
gamer
is
player
not
base.
even comparable. The gameplay in Battleborn is not. Is it completely different genre than
What?
a game like
No,
Overwatch?
it's not.
Yes.
It's shooter.
Okay,
No, there's
that's
melee in it, too.
okay. Wait.
All shooters are the same. Is what you're trying to tell me.
Yes,
all shooters.
that's
No, there's some very.
Okay, as Overwatch put it themselves, they're a hero shooter,
The hero
right?
shooter.
And that's exactly what Overwatch calls themselves.
Battleborn. You're saying we're talking Battleborn versus Overwatch.
okay, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Overwatch.
but that's what I mean.
Okay.
That's what Battleborn is too, right?
Okay, but
I mean, it does have MOBA elements, but in
no
essence,
leveling.
it's
The leveling is an abstraction. I don't think that's a big deal.
So again, all FPS games are the same. Everything else is an abstraction. As long as you shoot people, they're the same.
No, there's some clear
Various
differences.
levels of abstraction.
No, so
that's
there's
all.
there's
Okay.
like realistic
you
shooters like Counter
consider
Strike.
Borderlands to be
Graphics
the
don't matter.
same as Battleborn and Overwatch. Then
Yeah, is Borderlands the same as Battleborn Overwatch? Good point.
No, no.
Why? They're shooting.
Why?
You
They're
tell.
running around
Have you
shooting.
guys played Borderlands and Battleborn? They don't
have
play.
you played?
Clearly, you have not
Battleborn?
played Battleborn.
I played it with
Overwatch.
you guys.
And you just choose to forget that.
No, I played Borderlands, both of them. It does not play like Battleborn.
Okay, so what you're telling me is
What is not even multiplayer?
that
It's co-op multiplayer.
Paragon. Okay, what you're telling me is that Paragon and Smite are different than League because they're third-person shootery.
I've played Smite. I haven't played Paragon, so I can't say for sure. But I would say Smite and League are similar.
Yes,
Yes.
you're right. They are. They're very similar. Those are very good comparisons, but not the other two games. Because they're
What?
both mobile.
That's exactly the point I'm trying to make, though.
So
You
you're
just
saying
called two different games with two different modes of control the same thing, while simultaneously arguing that just because the same
Graphics, yeah.
method of control, it's the same game.
no? I'm saying the reason League and Smite are the same is the same reason Battleborn and Overwatch are the same. That's my point.
They're not the same. This makes. We have to move on because I think most people in the chat agree that this is not even an issue. I mean, I think you're. The
Yeah,
only
then
one.
that's not an issue. They agree with me. Thank you.
No,
Let's move
they
on.
don't. Who here agrees with Altai? Please, please. I'm curious if anybody agrees with him.
I mean, what is his actual statement?
Okay,
The
so
Battleborn.
they're
please
similar.
clarify.
They're competing for the same narrow
Sure, the
audience.
same
in
video
terms of
game audience, that's different.
No. Stop saying that. I'm not saying that the video game audience. I'm saying people looking for some kind of class-based shooter.
I
comparison to
agree.
Counter-Strike.
I actually
Yeah.
Are
agree
they
with
the
all
same
of them.
kind? Are they the same kind of game?
Well, no, stop trying to pigeonhole what I'm saying. I say people play them the same way. They play them for the same reasons. They're
They're
the
both
same audience.
hero shooters.
Yes,
They're
hero
both
shooters.
Okay, I'm going to go and play Overwatch like a MOBA. I'm going to sit there and wait for the creeps to come out, and when
Go!
they don't, I'm
Just
just going to
because
sit there
there's
and
5
defend my
useless
base.
creeps
It
every
doesn't
30
matter.
seconds doesn't matter. You just
They
blow them
don't
up
have
and
to
you
have
go.
the exact same gameplay to compete for the same like type of
Okay,
audience.
but then what you're saying is that games like League are like Diablo because they
I said
Matt.
nothing about League and Diablo.
Matt,
Yeah,
can't
you guys are-
argue
you
that.
guys are-
I'm only talking-
turning the
I'm
argument
only talking
elsewhere.
about
No. You said the games are similar, and they're not.
Oh my! Imagine in
Well,
Diablo.
the audience are different.
Imagine in Diablo, they add a character who builds towers, right? It's to attack with. Now, oh, Diablo's a tower builder. You can't compare it to anything else. Like
No,
to an act.
it's
Just
not.
because there's 5 creeps doesn't mean it's not comparable to shooters anymore.
Halo is not comparable to a game like.
Halo is not a hero shooter.
It doesn't matter that you play multiple heroes. One's a mobile, one's
They're
not.
so
You have
different.
levels.
It's like
you have
classes. You have a
lanes.
support. You have a tank. It's the
Let's
same
move on.
thing.
I don't think you got any support, by the way. in
I
the chat.
did. I heard a lot of the royalties here.
All right.
two people in the chat.
I'm getting mixed reception like always, so
All right,
I don't really
all right.
care.
Let's move on.
All right. I challenge the audience to play both games during a free weekend or something, or at a friend's house, and then tell me they're not similar.
You'll be waiting like a year, but okay.
All right, let's see what else we got. You know what, let's finish it with a lighthearted, wonderful picture for that's relevant to most of the MMO gamers over here. I saw this on Reddit earlier, and I think a lot of people saw it too, but I thought it was pretty great.
Is that real?
When a piece of armor doesn't match your current set, but its stats are too good to pass up, you gotta wear it. Because let's be, I mean, this also brings up, you'd wear gear even if it's inferior, if it looked really cool. But if the stats are really cool, if the stats are really good, you don't care what it looks like. You're gonna wear it.
True that. The meme time? Is that what this is?
No, we're not ready for the memes yet. I want to show. Nexon reported earnings earlier this month. I don't think we talked about it, which I'm a fan of numbers.
Numbers are interesting.
So their regional revenues, because we were talking about how big mobile is, and it is huge for a lot of companies now. But Nexon, which is one of the biggest, free-to-play companies worldwide, they're not very big in mobile yet. Only 22% of their revenue in Q1 of 2016 was mobile. So either they're behind, or the PC market is still big and growing.
I mean, if anything, that just tells me that Nexon hasn't transitioned yet, and they're in trouble because they got to get on that mobile game quick.
I mean, constant currency year-over-year change for PC is 16% growth. I mean, it's still growing. Mobile is growing much faster at nearly 50 to 60%, as you can see, but the PC market is still big. There's opportunity.
All right, so this is the perfect segue to this stuff. Okay, so for all you who love Tera's Ellen race and all of their exclusive classes, you'll be happy to know that both Asta and Riders of Icarus will have a Loli race with exclusive
Wait, are
classes.
these fairies? Are these fairies?
Yeah, can they look like it? Yeah, the
Oh
fairies.
my
Look at the video.
God.
Put the video on the thing.
All right, I'm gonna play this game.
See,
Okay,
a Loli race got you. It's worth it.
Okay, see, I was watching the customization video, right? And the first thing I did, or no, the idle video, right? And the first thing I did, I'm sitting there in Slack talking to Sean, and the first thing I did, these look like brat stalls.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
I think it's just that one screenshot that you took for the top image.
The top image looks like I'm so
Okay,
high
the top-
right now.
Oh,
The
actually,
top
wait,
image-
never mind. Now that they're sliding through it, I kind of see what you mean.
But yeah, so not only are they both getting Loli races, they're going to both have exclusive classes. And Riders of Icarus is going to have a weird-ass one. It's going to be an idol, right? And it's going to carry around a teddy bear and a magic wand.
I
Bear,
can tell you what
sounds
class
like
I'm
Annie.
not going to play. This one.
Why?
You could not make this stuff up, guys. This is really happening.
Loli class is bringing the players, all right?
So this is the next big release of 2016, right? Riders of Icarus. It's coming out in
Yeah.
July.
Yeah, it's coming out in July.
Okay.
Wait, in July in America?
Yeah.
Yep.
Aw, shit.
And actually,
The
Bad
Loli
boys.
class will not be there.
Wait, it won't? Okay, forget it.
No, this is only
They
coming out
didn't
in
release
Korea
it
now.
yet. Yeah, it's coming out in Korea soon.
So we're a few patches
Okay.
behind. But this,
I'm not
interestingly, guys,
interested
this
anymore.
game is doing very well in Korea. I remember when Black Desert Online came out, I looked at the Korean stats for MMORPG's popularity, and this even was way, way ahead of BDO. So
Number 3. It was number 3.
Number 3. So
Wow.
this might have some potential, guys.
I mean, seeing how big it is in Korea, that inspires a lot of hope for the West.
And also, so with this great game, do not forget to enter our Legendary Writers Founder Pack giveaway. We are entering the last 24 hours, and you are running out of time.
Yeah, if you want
Last
to try
15
Riders of
hours.
Icarus, you want to get the Founders Pack, just pop on to this link right here, and you might be a lucky winner, guys. It's worth a lot of money, actually. $252. What?
And the next closed beta is on June 3rd.
June 3rd. There it is. Closed beta. Get to play for free and then get wiped.
Open beta is in the first 2 weeks of July, I believe.
Oh, June 2nd, sorry. Anyways. And then July 6th, I think it launches.
Yep. Well, we'll be doing the live drawing for that probably tomorrow to see who wins the goodies, because it's in the contest ends in 15 hours, so I'll do a live drawing for that tomorrow and
For
email the
what?
winners.
For Riders of Icarus, the Founders Pack?
Oh, alright.
If you
I
haven't
was
entered the good giveaway yet, the 1080 GTX 1080, feel free to enter that as well on MMOs.com/giveaways.
I was going to set it up to end today, but I wanted to give you guys a solid week instead of 6 days. So.
All right. A solid week makes sense.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Used on Blade Soul for you.
All right, that's it then. We got to end after this one.
Did
Last
they
piece.
remove summoners?
No. Take a look. It was on Reddit. Apparently, Blade Soul hackers
serious?
obtain unreleased, untradeable items.
Is one of them a pet?
Oh, yeah.
Community manager tells Reddit it wasn't by malicious tools or cheats, so they know it wasn't through a cheat or some hack. But people are getting these really OP gear via some exploit. The theory crafting is that crooked GMs got it.
Ooh. Rogue GMs.
Seems weird. Like if you work for a company getting paid, you're gonna it's so weird to just make some broken stuff for yourself and cut all your bridges.
Like it's not like what is it? You can't even show it to people. Like the instant you show it to people, then you're fucked. Like what's the point?
Yeah, take a look. People are showing off the screenshots of the gear itself, though. And
yeah,
it's funny
but like now you're screwed.
The GM says, the community manager says, if you see someone with these items they should not have, please let us know. But if you have to rely on people report, if the game company has to rely on this, it means they have no way of stopping it.
Really? They can't just check the database for
Yeah, I was gonna say this should all be on a database.
I feel like you should just be able to search this weapon and get whoever.
Yeah, it makes no sense that they're asking players to report when you could just check the database.
Living in the database. Woo woo. What does that mean?
When I used to stream, I used to always joke about that song.
Oh, I think I know that song actually.
All right, well, we're coming towards the end of our hour 20. So that is it for this week. Stick around for the overtime, and we'll keep talking.
I'm gonna roll those boxes.
Oh, baby. All right.
In case you guys were wondering why we just kept going on, next week it'll be better when Sean comes back.
Yeah, Sean
is the adult, all right? He keeps us in check. All right, that's it, guys. Say your farewells.
Later, guys.
See you.
Later.
Bye-bye.